Almost 2 years ago, the Redragon K530 was released and quickly became one of the most popular budget 60% keyboards. But it lacked in one huge area that slowly made it obsolete. Well, that is until now. The Redragon K530 has been refreshed with a Pro model, but is the Pro name all talk and no thought, or is it legit? I'm happy to say this is seriously all thought. If you want to check out the K530 Pro at any point in the video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links, but let's jump into it. Firstly, the original K530 had Bluetooth and a wired mode with a USB-C on the left side. This is kept on the Pro model, however, it has been upgraded, adding a 2.4 GHz USB dongle. This is seriously awesome for gamers that can now game wirelessly with a dongle and keep that 1000 Hz polling rate. But you may be asking, is that really the thing that made the Redragon K530 obsolete? And the answer is no. This is. Previously, and basically on every Redragon keyboard ever, they only had hot swappable sockets with Altemu switches. However, the Pro model adds full hot swappability with 3 and 5 pin switches, which is unbelievable. This means for the first time ever, a Redragon keyboard can legitimately be modded to a custom keyboard level. This is something I really hoped that the brand would do, but I honestly never thought it would happen. All that is great, but it's a different world now with a ton of budget boards. So how does this truly compare to the competition today? Well, the Royal Kludge RK61 is the closest competition, and the LTC Nimbleback NB681 is really the only other competitor, with the GK61 kind of being in competition, but really being too expensive to compete. Both the RK61 and Nimbleback are about 55 bucks. The Nimbleback does not have wireless connectivity, while all the other specs are the same, with the RK61 having full hot swappability, RGB lighting, and a USB-C for connectivity. However, the RK61 does have Bluetooth and a 2.4 GHz USB dongle as well, but lacks those awesome side physical controls on the left that the K530 Pro has. So the specs are relatively the same, so it's that simple, right? No, not even close. Firstly, let's talk about what your fingers touch the most, the keycaps. The RK61 has awful feeling and sounding keycaps, truly terrible and must be replaced. You could live with it, but I wouldn't recommend it. The LTC Nimbleback is slightly better and is definitely livable, but really aren't that great. They also have pretty dang ugly white printing on the tops of the keycaps. The Redragon K530 Pro, however, has a very nice stock shine-through keycaps, which actually have incredibly good consistency with printing. All of the letters are the same weight and the same size and in the same place. That's impressive. But the biggest thing is the look and feel. They actually feel nice to type on, and they don't sound too bad either. They are basically completely smooth with a clean top to them, as the secondary printing for the secondary controls are actually printed on the side, which I absolutely love because it keeps it really clean being a stock board. Definitely the most attractive stock board at this price for sure. But what about switches? Well, they're basically all using Altemu switches or comparable switches to Altemu's. Now, they're all livable if you're getting into mechanical keyboards, and they can absolutely be upgraded pretty heavily by just lubing them like I did on my Redragon K617. Take a listen to before and after, red switches, Altemu, listen. So you can see it upgrades it a lot just with the stock switches. However, they're pretty much all the same quality and they're pretty low level switches. But again, they all have that full hot swappability and they're really made for you to swap those switches into these boards. That's what's so awesome about this. You can choose any switch that you want. But next is build quality. The RK61 features a very generic but well-made solid plastic case with a metal plate and feels pretty solid but doesn't feel special. The LTC is definitely a different design, having a removable skirt, which I love for modding, as this can be painted very easily. You can see that on my modded build right here. The main plastic case is nice feeling, however not quite as solid feeling as the K530 or the RK61. And this also has a metal plate. The K530 Pro has a really awesome modern design with very sharp edges that make it look more expensive than it is. This also features a solid metal plate that actually curves over in the rear, which is a very unique design that may contribute to more solid typing experience. And by far, this is the most solid to type on in stock form. This just feels solid as heck while using it. Really fantastic when swapping in a linear switch with something like a shorter travel distance like a gaming switch. This also has the best acoustics out of the three in my opinion in stock form. This point cannot be emphasized more. This is a very solid typing experience. Now, arguably one of the most important parts of any keyboard is the stabilizers. Now, historically with budget boards, Redragon has always had an edge up here. And this doesn't change here. The stabilizers are just, well, better, both when stock and when modded. In stock form, they are much better tuned and lubed than both the Nimbleback and the RK61. Don't expect these to be perfect, but for a stock board, these are quite good. Mine has a slight rattle on the left shift key, although I think that's due to just an oopsie during manufacturing, as none of my other K530s have this rattle. As well, after modding, these are quite good and do feel better after modded than both the RK61 stock stabilizers and the LTC Nimbleback stock stabilizers. But don't just take my word for it, listen to the stabilizers back to back. And that is how it sounds, but make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I will be doing a full sound test back to back of all three keyboards. Okay, but have you even noticed that I haven't even mentioned the price yet in the entire video? And that's because it's nuts. Because this was designed to be a replacement to the K530, the K530 Pro keeps the price of $60, which is actually insane. This makes this the best and most recommended budget mechanical keyboard by far on my channel. Again, if you want to check it out, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. All right, but take a listen to the back-to-back sound tests of the Royal Clutch RK61, the LTC Nimbleback, and the Redragon K530 Pro, all in stock form. Take a listen.